Brahmin wife like the earlier one, but she was very demanding. She was accustomed to living in a sophisticated way with a lot of costly garments, saris, all the things. In order to maintain her, he had to break all the regulatory principles. He was cheating people, he was looting them, he was killing them, he was lying. All things he was doing, all sinful activities. So he was continuously performing sinful activities. And mainly Prabhupada says he was eating the foodstuffs cooked by her. This is very deadly. That's why one has to be extremely careful as to what foodstuffs one eats. The foodstuffs are cooked by non-devotees. Their materialistic mentality, their material desires, they also enter in the food. By eating such food, one gets contaminated. The material desires increase. Sinful tendencies increase. Ahara Shuddhau Sattva Shuddhi, Sattva Shuddhi Dhruva Smriti, Smritilambe Sarva Granthina, Vipramoksha. Prabhupada quotes from some Vedic literature. This shloka in Bhagavad Gita purport. That Ahara Shuddha, Sattva Shuddhi. If one's eatables are sanctified, pure, then one's existence gets purified. Eatables are sanctified means how to sanctify them. One thing is to have hygienic way of cooking it by clean body, hands, etc. But more than that, it should be offered to Krishna. Because even with clean hands, after taking bath, one cooks in a very hygienic way. Still, the sinful reactions remain in the foodstuffs because those vegetables and all that they are cut, they are living beings. Then, then the all sins enter in that. But when it is offered to the Lord, then it is very completely purified. Krishna takes out all the sinful reactions. Rather, he pours his mercy in it. That's why it is called as prasad. Ahara Shuddha, Sattva Shuddhi, Dhruva Smriti. When one's existence is pure, then one develops finer tissues in order to be able to understand the Vedic literatures. One has very high class memory when pure foodstuffs are written. Ahara Shuddha, Sattva Shuddhi, Dhruva Smriti, Smriti Lambe Sarva Grantinam Vipramoksha. And when once finer tissues are developed to such extent, then the doors of liberation become wide open. Vipramoksha. So thus, for even liberation, foodstuffs matter. Hmm. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that ये पचन्ति तो आत्मा ये पचन्ति तो आत्मा कारण what is the beginning? यज्ञशिष्टस्य न सन्तो मुच्यन्ते सर्वकिल्बिषै भुञ्जते तु अगम पापा ये पचन्ति आत्मा कारण. So that foodstuffs which are offered in yajna, sacrifice to the Lord, they are very pure. But others who don't offer foodstuffs like that to Lord Vishnu, they eat, verily eat only sin. So it's very simple. Bhunjate to agam papa. They are eating agam, sins. Ye pachanti atma karana. They are eating for their own enjoyment. Even if it is vegetarian food, it is sinful because, as we said, the vegetables are cut. So he ate foodstuffs cooked by her. But then it so happened that when she was in her 10th pregnancy, some sadhus came to their house. This was Lord's arrangement for Ajamil because he was earlier very devoted Brahmin. The Lord had compassion on him. When she asked them, what should be the name of our child? They said, name him as Narayan. So, in one sense, in those years, there was no sonography as to find out whether the child in the womb is a boy or a girl, son or daughter. But the very fact that they blessed her, saying that name the child as Narayan, that means male child only had to be born. And sure enough, he was born. And as per that those sadhus request, they gave the name Narayan. And now as Narayan, small baby, last son, 10th son. Ajamil by then was around 88 years old. Very, very simple, very, very old. But then youngest child is always dear. He would always call Narayan, come here, Narayan, sit down here, Narayan, see that, Narayan, come there, like that, Narayan, Narayan, Narayan. Though he was addressing his son, but without his knowledge, he was calling out the name of holy name of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayan. So after some few months passed by, his last moment came. As such, Ajamil was designated to live for 100 years, but because of his very sinful activities, 12 years of his life reduced. And at the age of 88, three very fierce looking personalities came. They were Yamadutas, the messengers of the master of death. Why? Because Prabhupada says one performs sinful activities with his body, with his mind, and with his words. That's why for him, he had performed all sinful activities with body, mind, and words. Three three Yamadutas came. They are Yamadutas are those who follow Vedic principles very strictly, but then their own ancestors, their own descendants, they they don't offer them oblations after their death. So then what happens? Because of lack of Pindadam, so they are not having sufficient pious credits by which to get a suitable body. So then they are put to this kind of condemned species of Yamadutas. They are messengers of death. And because they themselves followed the Vedic principles very strictly, they were very pious in that sense. So they correct all those people who are very sinful. How dare of you to break the laws of God? They themselves followed very nicely. But the problem is their descendants did not offer them oblations, tarpan. So they cannot get sadgati, higher this thing. But one good thing in this Yamaduta's life is they are servants of Lord Yamaraj. Though he's messenger of, though he's master of God, master of death, still he is pure devotee of the Lord. Yamaraj is pure devotee, one of the Mahajanas. Swayambhu Narada Shambhu Kumaro Kapilo Manu Prallado Janako Bhishmo Balirvaya Sakirvayam. This sloka comes in third chapter of sixth canto only. Well, Yamaraji himself is saying. So the last word he uses is Vayam. Vayam is myself. Because Yamaraji is saying, Yamaraji is the 12th Mahajan. So these Yamadutas came to take his soul. The way the soul is taken is his subtle body is removed by Yamapash. They will put it around his existence. The subtle body of mind, intelligence, and false ego will be captured in the Yamapash and they will start pulling it. So when that is being pulled, soul being very attached to the subtle body, soul also gets dragged in a sense because of attachment. Just like if we have our whatever, let's say car or TV in the house, and one is very attached, and some thief comes and picks up that TV, starts running. Immediately, "Oh, my TV," he will run behind it. He is safe, but because of his attachment to TV, he will run behind those thieves. So, like that, when subtle body is being dragged, taken out, then the soul goes behind, and wherever the subtle body is sent, is put next body, cross body. So that's where the soul will also enter. But in this case, when he was getting dragged by Yamadutas, he found his small son Narayan crawling over there. Immediately shouted, Narayan, Narayan. He was calling his child. Please save me. Hmm. At such times, one will always ask for help. Narayan child was not helpful. He was small baby. He himself was helpless. But immediately there came four very effulgent personalities called the Vishnu Dutas. They are the messengers of Lord Narayan. They are uh, four because he said Na Ra Ya Na. This holy name of Lord Narayan. Four syllables are there. So devotees say when we chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. How many syllables? 16. 16 words are there. 32 syllables are there. So 32 Vishnu Dutas will come. Now imagine what a big satsang where 32 speakers are there, all highly qualified, eternal associates of Lord Narayan. So hope there will not be any fight amongst them. Who will give class on verses? One will give, other 31 will hear. Apart from you yourself, because you are the one who chanted Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So we are very fortunate. For Rajamil, he chanted Narayan, four Vishnu Sas, which will chant hopefully 32 syllables of Hare Krishna mantra. 32 Vishnu Dutas will come. They came and at once stopped Yamaduta. Stop! You cannot take him. They were wondering, Are, who are you? Nobody can stop us. Nobody stopped us till now. Who are you to? But then they were so effulgent. So there were some arguments over there. They asked, Who are you and all that. They did not know details. But then they were also counter question. How can you take? What are the principles of religion? They spoke whatever they knew. They did not know all the details of dharma. Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavad pranitam. Dharma is recited or originally spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And they were not directly associating with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In contrast to Vishnu Dutas, who were living with Lord Narayan, with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and how much they heard Lord Narayan. Day in and day out, they were hearing Lord Narayan. And also, uh, he said that the dharmic principles are very, very weak. They are very confidential. They cannot be understood, even if heard. They have to be heard in parampara only. In bona fide disciple section, there are four: Brahma, Rudra, Kumar, and Shri Sampradaya. So, unless heard in that parampara, one cannot understand dharmic principles, eternal religious principles, called Sanatan Dharma or Bhagavad Dharma. So when they were asked and they tried to answer, the Yamadutas, they could not answer properly. And the Vishnudutas then spoke wonderfully the glory. So there they, in their speech, they sing the glories of the holy name. So we'll see some of those glories. Or why. They say to Yamadutas, Ayam hi kruta nirvesho janma kotyam ham ahasamapi yad vyajahara vivasho nama swastya yanam harehe. Ajamil has already atoned for all his sinful actions. Indeed, he has atoned not only for sins performed in one life, but for those performed in millions of lives. For in a helpless condition, he chanted the holy name of Narayan. Even though he did not chant purely, he chanted without offense, and therefore he is now pure and eligible for liberation. So, pure, there are three types of chanting. Aparadayuktana, that is the lowest, offensive chanting. Then clearing stage, Namabhas. And last, final, purest is Shuddhanam, pure chanting. So they are saying even though he did not chant purely, he did not chant Shuddhanam, he chanted without offenses. That is Namabhas. Though in his case, it's like Pratibimba Namabhas, but it is namabhas. It is not aparadhyukta nam, not offensive chanting. So we though chant so much, one problem with us is we are very disrespectful to holy name by committing those 10 offenses, which we recite every morning. Sometimes while reciting those 10 offenses also we might be very inattentive. And we say the mother of all offenses is, it is also an offense is not attentive while chanting. Uh, to be also inattentive while chanting. It's like that. शिकारी आएगा, जाल बिछाएगा, दाना डालेगा, भूल से उसमें फंसना नहीं. You don't know that story? You know, how many of you know? All don't know. Basically, parent birds, they taught their small baby birds, hey, now we are going to get grains or in the forest. So you all will be here alone, unsafe, safe. You'll be unsafe. So shikari will come, hunter will come, will spread the net, will put the grains, and you will get stuck. So बी केयरफुल. शिकारी आएगा, जाल बिछाएगा, दाना डालेगा, भूल से उसमें फंसना नहीं. डोंट गेट स्टक. So what is the lesson? So the children first could not repeat. Again parents said, शिकारी आएगा, जाल बिछाएगा, दाना डालेगा, भूल से उसमें फंसना. बोलो. तो सब बच्चे बोले, शिकारी आएगा, जाल बिछाएगा, दाना डालेगा, भूल से उसमें फंसना नहीं. बोले हाँ, इसको याद करते रहो, रट्टा मारते रहो. So then they left. They went flying to the forest. So then the children came down on the ground and they were eating here and there these grains or whatever something. And they were simultaneously saying, शिकारी आएगा, जाल बिछाएगा, दाना डालेगा, इधर इधर, नहीं तो आपके लिए शिकारी आएगा, दाना डालेगा, बोल से उसमें फंसना नहीं. So then शिकारी came, hunter came and he was wondering, these are quite well trained बुर्ला वॉइस स्टूडेंट्स. उनको पता है शिकारी आएगा, जाल बिछाएगा, दाना डालेगा, भूल से उसमें फंसता नहीं. छोटे दिख रहे हैं, फर्स्ट ईयर सेकेंड ईयर डिवोटीज, लेकिन वेल ट्रेंड बाय parents, Shuddha Chitta Prabhu and Jagdishwar Mohan Prabhu, but they are both absent. Both have gone to Pune to get some more grains. So their reservation is not there. The train is not started from Pune, and you have not reached the Burla Hirakud railway station. So meanwhile, let us try. Nothing else is there. These only seem to be the boys here. So he spread the net there and he put the grains and they were saying, शिकारी आएगा, जाल बिछाएगा, दाना डालेगा, भूल से उसमें फंसता नहीं. And they came hopping, and then they sat over the net and they started taking the grains, etc. And they were saying, शिकारी आएगा in future. And जाल बिछाएगा in future. दाना डालेगा in future. Everything has already happened. It's all past tense. But their future tense they are talking. भूल से उसमें फंसता नहीं, फंस गया ऑलरेडी. What is past tense? They are saying about future tense. भूल से उसमें फंसने का नहीं. Future में जब वो आएगा तब. अब बोले तुमसे hunters will be fools. What they are saying? They don't even know. So we just gathered them all in the net, put it around the bag, started walking. And then they were saying in the net, शिकारी आएगा in future. जाल बिछाएगा in future. दाना डालेगा in future. भूल से उसमें हंसना नहीं in future. So this is not what we should be doing. No? So it is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. It is also an offense. We are only inattentive while chanting that. It is an offense to be inattentive while chanting. You understood or not? How many of you understood? शिकारी आएगा फिर. अरे आगे फंस गए हम सब. That is the sense. So because of our offenses, we don't flourish in Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, this is such a powerful method, powerful process. That is, there is no process which can come anywhere close to this process. Nothing. Karma, jnana, yoga, no. Harer Nam, Harer Nam, Harer Namaiva Kevalam, Kalo Nasteva, Nasteva, Nasteva Gatiranga. The most powerful. Petra Mahaprabhu said, Bhajanera Madhya Sarvasreshta Navavida Bhakti, Krishna Prema, Krishna Tite, Hare Mahashakti. Of all the varieties of spiritual practices, Yagya, Dan, Tapa, Vrata, hundreds and millions of types are there. He says, of all of them, topmost are the 9 processes of devotional service. भजनर मध्य सर्वश्रेष्ठ नवविधा भक्ति श्रवणं कीर्तनं विष्णुः स्मरणं पादसेवनम् अर्चनं वंदनं दास्यं सख्यम् आत्मनिवेदनम्. 9 times. And next he says, 2 potencies of this. Krishna Prema, Krishna Tite, Dhare Mahashakti. The 9 processes of devotion. Any one you perform, 2 you perform, 3 you perform, 9 you perform. Any one you perform also, they will give you 2 potencies. What? Krishna Prem. They will award you love for Krishna. And second, Krishna. Krishna Prema, Krishna Dite, Dhare Mahashakti. Krishna Prem is Srimati Radharani. Just like Daivi Hi Esha, Gunamayi, Mama Maya, Duratteya. The external potency of the Lord, Bahiranga Shakti, is made up of gunas. Daivi Esha, Gunamayi, she is made up of 3 modes. Sattvagun, Rajogun, Tamagun. Goodness, passion, ignorance. Anywhere you press Maya, Devi, either Sattva Gun will come out, or Rajogun will come out, or Tamagun will come out. No fourth thing will come out, which is made up of gunas. But Radharani is made up of Krishna Prem. Krishna Prema Mai Radha, Radha Prema Mayo Harihi. Srila Goswami writes in his poem that Radharani is made up of Krishna Prem, and Krishna is made up of Radha Prem. Radha Prema Mayo Harihi. So Krishna Prem will get. First we will get more bhakti. By performing little bhakti, we will get more bhakti. Because what happens? Ladini karaye Krishna ananda aswadan. Ladini radwara kare bhaktera poshan. Any one type of one of the 9 types of devotional service you perform, what you are doing basically, you are taking Radharani and offering her to Krishna. So anything you do, so you hear about Krishna. So you are taking Radharani to Krishna. So Krishna becomes blissful. Oh, my Radharani. I was separated from her and this fellow brought her. Guy. So okay. I'm very happy with this fellow. So Ladini Kara hai Krishna Ananda Aswadan. Radharani is Allahadini. Ladini potency. She gives pleasure to Krishna. So Krishna becomes very pleased. And in return, he also wants to please the devotee. And what he will do? Ladinira dwara kare bhaktera poshan. So he got Radharani from devotee. He gives Radharani to devotee and nourishes the devotee. So by performing devotional service, you get more bhakti. So you will get Krishna prem. Radharani you will get more. You give some amount of Radharani to Krishna, and Krishna will give you more Radharani. And then you get Krishna prem. Radharani is made of Krishna prem. And then Radharani will give you Krishna also. Krishna prema Krishna dite dhare mahashakti. And then next Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says to Sanatana Goswami in Antarila 4th chapter, तारमध्ये सर्वश्रेष्ठ नाम संकीर्तन निरपराध नाम लैले पापे प्रेमधन. In the ninth process of devotional service also, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanam. The topmost is chanting of the holy name. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This is topmost. आरमध्ये सर्वश्रेष्ठ, not श्रेष्ठ, superior, सर्वश्रेष्ठ, supreme, नाम संकीर्तन. But qualifier is niraparadha namaleda. One should chant without offenses. Then pabe premadam. Then one will achieve Krishna prem. And Krishna prem is the topmost achievement in life. प्रेम धन बिना व्यर्थ दरिद्र जीवन दास करी वेतन मोरे देह प्रेम धन. The 28th chapter of Antavila, last chapter, Sri Shikshastak praise. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explains to Swarup Damodar, other devotees. So Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami has noted down. So he says Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is only explaining the 8 verses. He only recites and he only explains. So he says that prem dhana bina vyartha daridra jivan. One who doesn't have Krishna prem, his life is useless, vyartha, daridra, most poverty-stricken fellow. No matter how rich he is, whether he is lakpati, karodpati, arabpati, kharapati, billionaire, trillionaire, no, he is daridri. He is poverty-stricken. His life is useless. Prem dhana vina vyartha daritra jivan. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Dance kari, O Lord, please make me your servant. Vetan more. So if I am serving you as your servant, you should give me salary. Every employee who works for a month, at the end of the month, he gets salary. Das kari vetan more. What is the salary? Deha premadhan. Give me this love for Krishna. Like that. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is begging Krishna. He is only Krishna in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he is only begging Krishna. So this Krishna prem is the highest achievement in life. So one should strive for that only. But Niraparada Namaleli, we don't do or we don't chant without offenses. We chant with offenses. With offense means what? Aparat. One word translation. What is that? Disrespect. Any type of disrespect. All 10 offenses to the holy name. What is it? First is disrespect to the preacher. Second is disrespect to demigods. Third is disrespect to Guru. Fourth is disrespect to the scriptures. Like disrespect, disrespect, disrespect. That is aparat. So what is the antidote solution? Respect, 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 respect. This kartal or this book while handling, I'm taking in the hand and suddenly it falls from my hand, falls on the ground. I did not want to make it fall down, but somehow because of my inattention, it falls. So immediately I should pick up and touch to my head and say sorry, oh Krishna, in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam. I was inattentive. My mistake. Please forgive me. So when I was inattentive and Bhagavatam fell down, it was aparat. And when I pick it up and touch to my head and beg forgiveness, that is respect. So my offense is nullified. So like that, one should not be disrespectful, but by mistake sometimes if it happens. So one should beg forgiveness. So here they are saying that helplessly one should chant. We don't chant helplessly. That's why poverty-stricken condition is good in one sense because one is helpless. So many resources are lacking with him. In the first time in the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam, holy name appears in the first chapter itself, 14th verse. Apannah samsrutim ghoram yannama vivasho gurnam tato satya vimucheta yadbhibeti swayam bhayam. That those who are stuck in the complicated meshes of the repetition of birth and death, apannah samsruti, पुनरपि जननं पुनरपि मरणं पुनरपि जननी जठरे शयनम् इह संसारे बहुदुस्तारे कृपया पारे पाहि मुरारे. Shiva Shankaracharya says again and again birth, again death, again birth. So what we go through now, we all took birth And then in life we are going through some disease or the other. Then we'll become old, then we'll die. Then we'll get into the womb of another mother. We'll take birth, then we'll be having lifelong diseases one after the other. Some gap may be there in between, but another next disease will come. Then we'll become old, then we'll die. Then what? Then we'll get into the womb of third mother. And then we'll take birth, then we'll have diseases, then we'll die. Old, become old, then we'll die. Then we'll get into the womb of fourth mother. Then we'll take birth, we'll be having diseases, we'll become old, we'll die. Then we'll get into the womb of fifth mother. So this is what is Samsruti. Samsara, repetition of birth and death. Apanah Samsrutim Ghora. This is very horrible. Imagine again going to first standard, second standard in the school. How many of you are reading? LKG, UKG, first standard, second standard, third standard, fourth, fifth. You all went through. That's how you're here. Now again you have to go through. How many are ready? Raise your hand. Be honest. Be enthusiastic. We can't do this. By the way, even if you do the second round, then third round starts. Again LKG, UKG, first standard, second. Somehow if you complete third round, then fourth round begins. There's no end to this. So that's why he's saying, Yanama Vyosha Granam, in such kind of horrible cycle, one is stuck up in, then what one should do? If he chants the holy name with helplessness, Vivasha Granam, helplessness should be felt. In Krishna consciousness, sometimes we make other devotees feel helpless by our behavior, but we don't feel helpless. We do paropkar, but our janma is not sarthak. So he says, Yannama Vivasha Granam Tato Sadhyo Vimuchyata. Immediately he is liberated. Why? Yad Viveti Swayam Bhayam. Because holy name is feared by fear personified. Yamaraj is fearful of Krishna. Madbhayat vati vatoyam suryastapati madbhayat varshati indro dahati agnir mrutyuscharati madbhayat. Lord Kapila says to Mother Devati, Madbhayat vati vatoyam. Because of fear of me, the wind blows. Suryastapati madbhayat. Nowadays we can experience afternoon, whatever, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. Is it hot or not? But anyway, this is also October, but you'll get real hit in one sense. You'll be hit by the hit of sun in May month, June month, July month. Super hot. Surya's tapati madbhayat. Why the sun is blazing with fire-like condition? Because of fear of Krishna. Varshati Indra. Indra showers forth unlimited rains because of fear of Krishna. Dahati Agni. Agni also blazes like anything because of fear of Krishna. Mrutyuscharati madbhayat. Yamaraj takes his noose and goes sitting on buffalo all around. That also because of fear of Krishna. So yet bhibeti swayam bhayam. Even the fear personified is fearful of Krishna. And that Krishna only has come in the form of holy name. But we are not able to chant offenselessly. So one needs to be very respectful. As long as offenses are there, one doesn't experience full potency of the holy name. Potency of the holy name never reduces, but one is not able to experience the potency because of his problem. Just like a very big, huge magnet with all magnetic, whatever the power, magnetic power, can attract all the iron filings, iron pieces also. But if the iron filings are rusted, oxidization is happening. They're covered over with their coatings, with their designations, then they can be stuck to the magnet and they will fall down. They will not be attracted and they will not remain stuck also because they are rusted. But if they are pure iron filings without rusting, no oxidation, and if you just keep little bit away from magnet, immediately be attracted to magnet. It will get stuck only. So like that is the potency of the holy name. So potency of the holy name does not reduce, but we don't experience the potency because of our offenses. He says that sakale sammana kurite shakati dehanatha jatha jatha tabe to gaibo harinama sukhe aparadha behat. Sakale sammana kurite shakati. Let me be able to respect everyone. And it requires a lot of strength. Like to lift this book, some strength. To lift this book with this table requires more strength. This one is even heavier than this. To lift this will require more strength. To lift this, whatever support with the altar will require much more strength. To lift this cement water tank along with the water inside, poor dude also will not be able to lift it. Mm. So more and more strength, but higher strength in creation is required to respect others. Why? Because you have to lift the mountain of false ego over yourself, soul, and put it aside. So that's why highest strength is required in respecting others. Sakale sammana korite shakati. It requires strength. And I don't have the strength. So one asks from one's guru. Dehonatha jatha jatha. Oh my dear Gurudev, you give me the strength. You have the strength. You respect everyone. And then what will happen if I respect everyone? Tabe to gaibo. Then only I can sing Harinam. But how? तभी तो गायब दो हरिनाम सुखे हैप्पीली आई चैंट हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे हरे नाउ हाउ वी चैंट हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे राम 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 हरे कृष्ण 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 राम 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 हरे कृष्ण and ultimatum is clean mode ardhanga pranam ardhang head touches the ground, it will be ekanga pranam. But because it doesn't touch the ground, it's ardhanga only. So ardhanga pranam. So we change the whole process of Shravanam and Kirtanam into Vandanam. Extreme humility. So humble that I just can't chant only. So Krishna says, please give up humility. Chant only. No, I will not give up humility. It's hard to give up. I can give up chanting, but not the humility. Like that, our fallen condition. How much fallen? Gross physically fallen. Physical gross body is also fallen. So this is our condition. So at least this should make us humble. जैसे तबे तो गाई को हरिनाम सुखे अपराध हबे और all the offenses are destroyed when I respect everyone. So I should respect everyone. In the purport, Prabhupada gives very nice shlokas. He quotes, "नाम्नो हि यावति शक्ति पाप निर्हरणे हरे तावत् कर्तुं न शक्नोति पातकं पातकी नरः." Holy name, one pure holy name has so much potency that it can destroy sinful reactions of millions of sins. Not only some sins committed, sins which one cannot even think of committing. Even on your in your wildest of imaginations, you cannot commit so many sins as much as they all can be eradicated by chanting one pure holy name. That is the potency of the holy name. You know, Valmiki Maharshi was Ratnakar dacoit. How many sins he had committed? He was staying near Pune only. So just 40 kilometers behind, there is one village called Valve, on something like Pandharpur side road. So there he would, after killing one man, after killing the man, he would take out his all money, jewelry, everything. And then he would take one stone and put in a huge earthen pot, something like this. Put one stone inside. That are counting. Chanting beads, counter bead. Chanting beads are for chanting. Counter beads are for counting. How many rounds are over? So he had a counter earthen pots. How many people he killed? So one stone he would put. And after killing second person, second stone. Like that, seven huge earthen pots were filled with stones. Imagine the number of people he had killed. But when he came across Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastra Koi, Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhika, pure devotee, Narad Muni. Narad Muni, you know the story, how he purified. He requested him to chant the holy name of Lord Ram, but he could not because of his sinful activities. So he said, okay, chant opposite, Mara. So Mara, 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 Ram, 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 Mara to Mar, Ram, Ram. This is the potency of the holy name. Our Ramacharya Haridas Thakur explains to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Krishna's favorite Goswami tells in the third chapter of Antilila that he says, if somebody forget about uh, Ram, that is anyway powerful. But somebody indicating to something else also somehow happens to chant the holy name of the Lord will be purified, will get liberation. He gives example of one Muslim who ate a lot of meat and thus had dysentery. In those years, those times, there was no attached toilet bathroom. They would go in the woods, forest. So he went there, he passed a lot of stool, but along with a lot of water also went away, dehydration. He was not having strength to get up. Meanwhile, one wild boar was waiting for this man to go away so that he can have his feast on stool, fresh stool. But this person had no strength only. After finishing his business also, he was not able to get up. The wild boar lost patience. He did not attend nectar of instruction. Utsahan, Nichya, Dhairya. He lost his patience, came running. He has a wild boar has a tusk also. Heart is pierced him. And then he was pierced, he became very angry. He said, Haram! It is ill name. Haramzadi. So they chastise others. So he said, Haram! But the Lord took it as Haram. Oh, my dear Lord Ramchandra. He never thought of Lord Ramchandra. He said Haram. That was criticism of that wild boar. But Lord took it as he chanted my name. Oh, my dear Lord Ramchandra. Ha Ram. So he got liberated like that. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very happy. Then he says, this is anyway, the holy name is together. Ha, Ha, Ram. The holy name is separated also. Halam Riktam. Somebody says. So Ha of Halam and Ri of Riktam. So Lord says he chanted Hari. What? Hari. What did he chant? Halam Riktam. But Lord says he chanted Hari. Somebody says Raja Maharshi. So Ra of Raja, Ma of Maharshi. Lord says he chanted Ram. This is the Lord's kindness. A small boy, small baby, and he doesn't know any alphabets. What he says, no? Pop, 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 pop. Immediately, father, he's saying, Papa. How many is it? Pop, 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 three. So he did not say Papa, or he did not say Papa, Papa. So two or four. He said pop, 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 three only. So that doesn't make into two papas. It is more than one papa. But father said he chanted Papa. And by mistake, he said, Mom, 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 Mom. Immediately, mother said, he's chanting Mama. Like that. So, this is how this nature in the parents in this world is coming from original parents, Radha and Krishna. So, like that, Lord is very merciful. So, one should chant without offenses, the holy name. Then, holy name is very, very effective. One should learn to respect holy name. That's why one of the ways to get rid of our offenses is to hear the glories of the holy name. And here, anyway, there are so many glories. We'll just cover a little bit more. Avashenapi yan namni kirtite sarvapatakai uman vimuchyate sadyah simhatrastayar mrugetiva. So he's saying that helplessly one chants the holy name of the Lord, all his sinful reactions fly away. How? Just like in the forest, if a lion roars, immediately all the forest animals will run away. They laugh, they will be scared. A lion roaring, is nearby. They are able to hear that means it's very nearby. So they have to run in opposite direction from where the sound came. Sound came from here, they should run in the sound came from here and they should not run in this direction. They will be eternal in the opposite direction. So all our sinful reactions will go fly away. So it is said our sharir, this body, is completely sinful. This is full installment of sinful actions. Original sin is disobedience to the Lord, dvesh of the Lord, envy of the Lord. Ichcha dvesha samuttena dvandva mohina bharata. But that was original sin, and after that we have committed unlimited sins. So whole body shows sinful reactions. We call it prarabdha karma. And in the within this body, while residing in this body, then we have aprarabdha karma, sanchit karma, and all varieties of karmas are there. And we suffer throughout life, life after life. There's no end to this. So all the birds of sinful reactions are sitting on the tree of this body, papa pakshis. They are sitting. But when you chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. It is like clapping loudly or shouting loudly. And on a tree, if there are birds sitting, what will they do? They'll all fly out. They'll be scared. So when you chant loudly the holy name of the Lord, all the papa pakshis, the sinful birds sitting on our entire existence, they all fly out. And we become free from all sinful reactions. So that's why one should always chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Ahead he says Sakruducharitam yena Haririti Aksharadvayam Baddha Parikarastena Mokshaya Gamanam Prati. Sakrit, once only, Ucharitam, one says Harir iti Akshara Dvayam. Hari. Only two akshars are there in this one word. One shabda is there called Hari, but in that only two akshars are there, Ha and Ri. If only one says that, these two syllables, Ha, Ri, one guarantees his path to liberation. This is from Skanda Puran. I had the Vishnu say, Etenaiva hi agano asya kritam syad aghanishkritam Yada Narayanaeti Jagat Chaturaksharam. The Vishnu Dutas continued. Even previously, while eating and at other times, this Ajamil would call his son, saying, My dear Narayan, please come here. Although calling the name of his son, he nevertheless uttered the four syllables Na, Ra, Ya, Na. Simply by chanting the holy name of Narayan, in this way, he sufficiently atoned for the sinful reactions of millions of lives. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti gives us insight into Ajami's life. First time when he said Narayan, child was born before only in pregnancy only, 10th pregnancy, they came to know through Sadhu. Name of the child should be Narayan. So as soon then still child is not there. So they are not calling Narayan. But as soon as he was born, immediately the parents started saying Narayan, Narayan. Now the child doesn't understand, he's just 1 day old, 2 days old. But they are continuously calling. So that time only with the first Narayan calling only, his sins of previous entire lives, millions of lives before whatever sinful reactions he committed, they all were eradicated. Then the sinful actions committed in this life as a Brahman also, unknowingly some sins were committed. They were all destroyed. And from this moment till his last moment, 88 age, then also he's going to commit sinful activities. That also were all eradicated. Everything was, account was made zero. That is the power. Simply by chanting the name of Narayan in this way, he sufficiently atoned for sinful reactions of millions of lives. So that's why there is no consideration of sinful reactions. In Marathi, our sage Tukaram Maharaj, famous saint of Maharashtra, he says, Hari Mukhe Mana, Hari Mukhe Mana, Punyachi Ganana Kona Kari. Oh, my dear friends, just chant the holy name of Lord Hari with your mouth. Hari Mukhe with your mouth. Chant the holy name of Hari. Punyachi Ganana Kona Kari. Why should you count the pious activity? That is not required. With one chanting of the holy name, all your sinful reactions are eradicated and supreme piety is produced. Generally, just like we have 1 plus minus 1 is equal to 0. 1 plus is there, but next to that is minus 1. So it is like 1 minus 1. So it becomes 0. 1 plus minus 2 is equal to minus 1. So 1 here and 2 here should make 3. But no, because this is minus. So then it becomes minus 1. So likewise, the concept is there. If you have committed sinful activities, you perform pious activities and try to eradicate the sinful activities. But they don't get eradicated like that. Hmm. 1 plus minus 2 is equal to minus 1 in our mathematics. But in the life's mathematics, 1 plus minus 2 is equal to 3. 1, 1, and 2 minus 2. You understand? So 1 and 2 is equal to 3. For one, that is pious activity, one has to get some positive benefit, something which is also binding. So that is one reaction. and two sinful activities he has committed, minus two. So for each one of the sinful activity, he has to suffer. So one and this two is equal to three. So one plus minus two is equal to three in the life's mathematics. You understand? Not your engineering method. Don't write there. There you'll lose marks. You may fail also. There one plus minus two is equal to minus one only. But if I'm talking about life's mathematics, so it doesn't compensate, doesn't eradicate. So, but there is something called a prayashchitta, atonement. By that it gets eradicated. Just like for example, cat comes in the kitchen and puts her mouth or is about to put mouth in the milk pot. And the owner sees, takes some object in the hand, iron object, hard, he hits him, and it hits on the head of the cat, and it falls down dead. He is now scared. I killed the cat. Anyway, he may bury the cat then, but then he goes to Brahmana and says, this is what happened. I happened to kill a cat. Now what to do? So the Brahman says, according to scripture, he'll open all the scriptures. Okay, the atonement, prayashchitta is you make a golden cat, small one, and donate it to some Brahman. He's not saying to me, some Brahman. He's honest. So now golden cat, what will be the cost? Quite costly. So he has worked hard earned money he has to put in making gold cat and donate it. Yeah, itna paisa. But this will eradicate his sin of killing the cat. This is called the atonement process. So here, through this process, 1 plus minus 2 is equal to minus 1. Nahi. 1 plus minus 2 is equal to minus 1. Or 1 plus minus 1 is equal to 0. Through the process of atonement. In life's mathematics, 1 plus minus 1 is equal to 2. But through Vedic pious life, karma kanda, through the process of atonement, 1 plus minus 1 is equal to 0. But there is some small problem there. Even if one eradicated the sin committed through some pious activity, like donating a golden cat, the tendency, deep rooted tendency to commit sin does not go away. After some 3, 4, 5 years of this incident of his killing the cat by mistake, again something similar happens. A hen comes inside the house and something like that passes to, and he will again take some object hard and he will kill the hen. Miss unintentionally, he did not want to kill, but he wanted to punish the drive away the hen, but in the process the hen died. Again, sin is committed. So the tendency to commit sin is not removed from the heart despite atonement process. That's why Parishad Maharaj rejects it. He says, Manne Kunjar Shaucha. I consider it, compare it to an elephant bathing. An elephant goes to nice pond and takes the water in the trunk and pours all over the body, nicely gets cleaned thoroughly. Complete entire bath is taken. But after coming out of the pond, there is dust there. He rolls in the dust. Oh, acha. What is the use of that bath that he took few minutes back? So that is how it is. The tendency to commit sin doesn't go. So that's why he's saying that he has atoned for millions of lives of sinful transactions. Stenaha surapo mitradhruk brahmaha gurutalpagaha स्त्रीराजपितृगो हन्ता ये च पातकिनो अपरे सर्वेषाम् अप्यघवनावताम् इदम् इव सुनुष्कृतम् नाम व्याहरणं विष्णोर्यतस्तद्विषया मतिः. The Vishnus are saying the chanting of the holy name of Lord Vishnu is the best process of atonement for a thief of gold or other valuables, for a drunkard, for one who betrays a friend or relative, for one who kills a Brahman, Brahma Hatya. As such, every morning when we go for Tulsi Pradakshina, Yani Kanicha Papani, Brahma Hatya Di Kanicha. In some life, if we had killed some Brahmin, that is all eradicated just by going in Pradakshina around Tulsi. But those who don't go, for them, chanting of the holy name is that powerful method. For one who kills a Brahman, or for one who indulges in sex with the wife of his guru or another superior. Guru Patni ke saath having sex. In the Vedic times, sometimes some low class disciple may do that. He had sex with the wife of his guru also. So it is very sinful activity. Because Guru Patni is one of the seven mothers. Every civilized man has seven mothers. His own mother, the nurse who was assisting our mother, Daya, Daima. So she's second mother. Then the wife of the king, wife of Guru, wife of Brahman, Bhumata and Gomata, Mother Earth and Mother Cow. So these are the seven mothers of every civilized man. So the king, the wife of Guru Patni, is motherly, and one who had sex with her only, very sinful reaction. But by chanting the holy name, that sin is also removed. Or another superior's wife, he had sex, then also it is removed by chanting. It is also the best method of atonement for one who murders women. Woman, Stri Hatya, my God. Stri should be always protected. Woman should be always protected. And somebody killed a woman, very sinful. In the world today, my God, so many women are being killed. Horrible. Then the king. It is the best method of atonement for one who murders women, the king, or his father. Pitru Hatya, very dangerous. Because of father, we get body. If one kills his father, so deadly. For one who slaughters cows, Go Hatya, that is another mother. And for all other sinful men. Simply by chanting the holy name of Lord Vishnu, such sinful persons may attract the attention of the Supreme Lord, who therefore considers, because this man has chanted my holy name, my duty is to give him protection. So God is very merciful to such a person. So we just have to chant the holy name of the Lord. Next, little bit more. He says, Sanketyam pari hasyam va, stobam helanam eva va, vaikunta nama grahanam, ashishadam haram vituhu. Even indirectly one chant, Sanket, Hare, dekho wo Hare Krishna wale, sab takle, all seven-headed fellows. So he's indicating, hey, Hare Krishna wale. This is indicating. Sanketyam pari hasyam is the joking. And they are all seven-headed fellows. So he may be joking. और क्या कहते हैं इसको गंजे गंजे ना अलग का हाँ टकला हाँ इंग्लिश में बाल्डनेस कहते हैं टकला टकला बाल्ड तो वैसे भी बाल जिसके आते ही नहीं उगते ही नहीं हम तो शेव कहते हैं ना सेवन हेडेड बट एनीवे गंजे वगैरह ये टकले जो भी है ना तो वो जोक कर रहा है ये देखो ये सब टकले हरे कृष्णा वाले तो जोक करते हुए हरे कृष्णा बोल रहे हैं तो सांकेत्यम पारिहास्यम व स्तोभम म्यूजिकल एंटरटेनमेंट व्हेन वी गो फॉर हरिनाम संगीतम पीपल हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा राम राम हरे कृष्णा he's happy. He may not be able to chant the whole mantra properly, but कुछ तो बोल रहा है वो लेकिन उसका अच्छा लगता है म्यूजिक है ना हरे कृष्णा so this is stobam helanam helanam is even neglectfully neglectfully also suppose hey, Hare Krishna are all parasites समाज के ऊपर बोझ है अरे नाचते गाते खाते सोते neglectfully he's saying but neglectfully he's saying Hare Krishna are all lazy. But he's chanting Hare Krishna. That is very good. That's why Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur, in those years before 1936, that time in Kolkata there were some newspapers. So one newspaper article says that is that not is Gaudiya Math. That time Gaudiya Math, Bhakti Thakur established. That Gaudiya Math is doing very nice work. They are feeding the poor, prasadam. They have beautiful temples, etc. XYZ. It's a kind of article which praises the activities of Gaudiya Math. Another article criticizes Gaudiya Math. These Gaudiya Math people, all the time they are chanting Hare Krishna. And these fellows, not only inside the temple, they chant Hare Krishna, but they go out on the street and shout very loudly Hare Krishna. So these fellows are all the time only Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur is shown both the articles. One article praising Gaudiya Math activity, another article criticizing Gaudiya Math activity. Bhaktivinoda Thakur reads both and he says this article is the best. In this, four times they have written Hare Krishna. These Hare Krishna chant Hare. These people, Gaudiya Math people chant Hare Krishna in the temple. Not only they chant Hare Krishna in the temple, they are out there on the street and there also they are chanting Hare Krishna. All the time Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So four Hare Krishnas came. Another article said Gaudiya Math people are very nice. They give food to the poor people. and they have nice temple. There is Hare Krishna is not there. You understand? Yes. This is not a good article. This other article is very good. And the disciples of Shafi, that is criticizing us. He said, no, through article that criticizes Gaudiya Math, people when they read that article, they will chant Hare Krishna at least 4 times. And how many people will read? Thousands and millions. How many Hare Krishna mantra chanting credit will go to them? Just very good. So that is how your devotees. So even this is accepted by all learned scholars of the scripture. Patitah skalito bhagnah sandashtastapta ahatah haririti avashenaha punna puman narhati yatanah. If one chants the holy name of Hari and then dies because of an accidental misfortune, such as falling from the top of a house. So sometimes it may happen. Parapet wall is not there, person may fall. And just 1 or 2 years back, my cousin brother, my no cousin, no, my nephew, my cousin sister's son, is the architect, and he was for architectural something design. He was there on the construction building, first floor, above ground floor. So somehow something happened. God knows what happened. He slipped, and there was no parapet wall. So from the first floor, he fell down. He fell down on his this on the thigh, so his this bone broke. So they took him to hospital and they did the operation and put that rod or whatever screw. So after some months, they found out that the screws are not fitted properly, and he was experiencing pain. Again, they cut open. Again, they fitted properly, and now it seems he's okay. But you can see somebody may fall down. He's an architect. He designs building, and he himself fell down. Young boy, hardly 26, 27 year old, married. His wife is one of the actresses in Marathi movies in Bombay. Beautiful woman. So if one chants the holy name of Hari and then dies because of an accidental misfortune, such as falling from the top of a house, sleeping, sometimes people sleep, and suffering broken bones while traveling on the road, being bitten by a serpent, being afflicted with pain and high fever, or being injured by a weapon, one is immediately absolved from having to enter hellish life, even though he is sinful. Just chanting once. Gurunam cha lagunam cha guruni cha laguni cha prayaschittani papanam gyatvoktani maharshibi. Authorities who are learned scholars and sages have carefully ascertained that one should atone for the heaviest sins by undergoing a heavy process of atonement, and one should atone for lighter sins by undergoing lighter atonement. Chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, however, vanquishes all the effects of sinful activities, regardless of whether heavy or light. इट्स नेचुरल somebody has done pickpocketing 100 रुपए चुराए किसी के चोर तो उसको कितने साल का जेल होगा 10 क्या 20 क्या 50 no not so much 1 to 3 months something like that. But somebody has murdered 3 people, he will be put in jail for 2 3 days for several years, maybe more than a decade also, because he has committed high sin. But chanting the holy name of the Lord, is the most powerful method, whether somebody has done small sin or big sin. तैस्तान्यभानि पूयन्ते तपोदानव्रतादिभिः नाम नाधर्मजं तद्धृदयं तदपि शाङ्घ्रि सेवया. Although one may neutralize the reactions of sinful life through austerity, charity, vows, and other such methods, these pious activities cannot uproot the material desires in one's heart. However, if one serves the lotus feet of the person to God, it is immediately freed from all such contaminations. अज्ञानात् अथवा ज्ञानात् उत्तमश्लोकनाम यत् संकीर्तितम् अघं पुंसो दहे देधो यथा नलः. As a fire burns dry grass to ashes, so the holy name of the Lord, whether chanted knowingly or unknowingly, burns to ashes without fail all the reactions of one's sinful activities. Then he gives example next shloka 19. Yathagatam viryatapmam upayuktam yadruchaya ajanatopyatma gunam kuryan mantropyavdharutam. Without knowing the efficacy, effect of any medicine, if one takes that medicine, one's disease will be gone. Yes or no? How many of you have taken medicine after discussing with the doctor for 2 3 hours how the medicine works, where it goes exactly, and how did you even doctor checked here and there. So if you take this medicine twice a day, thrice a day after lunch, something with little water. We took it, and after 5, 6 days, we're out. I mean, we are okay and done. So without knowing the what medicine it is, what is the effect, just doctor said we took it. Medicine is powerful. You are cured. That's it. So like that is the holy name also. Whether you know the glories of the holy name or not, it will purify you. Just like another example, fire will burn. Whether the child knows the power of fire or not, touches the fire, it will be burnt like that. So these are some of the glories. And anyway, you know then that Ajamil was released after this. Vishnudutas defeated Yamadutas thoroughly. They had to leave Ajamil. Then they straight away went to Yamaraj, to Yamalok, Sayyamanipuri, and said, "What is this? We thought you are the supreme ruler. Is there anyone above you? We thought no one, but it seems somebody is above you. Who are those four effulgent personalities with four hands, who had such nice, beautiful bodily features? And then all that they speak. Then Yamaraj, when asked that who they were and what is this, how could Ajamil so sinful be relieved of all the sinful reaction? And then Yamaraj is so happy. First time in Yampuri, Naraklok, he has got opportunity to give Srimad Bhagavatam class. Haribo. There was an announcement. Today morning, Srimad Bhagavatam class will be given by Yamaraj Prabhu. Haribo. And he started giving class. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And who were the audience? All Yamadutas. Who were defeated, they were frustrated. So that's why, because they were frustrated, what is this nonsense? We thought you are the supreme. So they did not have proper respect for the speaker. You are not supreme. Huh? You are saying some Vishnu is superior to you. So because of this uh, hearing, they did not get full benefit. Afterwards, they continued doing the same things. They should have been upgraded. No? They should have become OC of Narak voice. But that did not happen. They continued in their activities, but they understood because Yamaraj at the end told in an instructive mode only that henceforth be careful. Those devotees who have 12 marks of 12 parts of their body decorated with tilak, they have kantimala, and their tongues are always chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Such people are called Vaishnavas. They are servants of Lord Vishnu, and Lord's Gada club, Kaumudaki, is always going in front of them. तो उनके सामने जाओगे ना तो गधा आपके सर पे गिर के धाड़ करके नीचे गिर जाओगे. So forget about going next to the Vaishnavas. Don't even look in the direction where Vaishnavas are there. इसलिए the whole world, the sinful world is very scared of Yamadutas. And Yamadutas are scared of the devotees. Haribo. So devotees are the top terrorists of the world. Because the whole world is terrorized by Yamadutas. But Yamadutas are scared, terrorized by devotees. So devotees are the topmost terrorists. Means in the positive sense. सब डरते हैं. तो इसलिए हमें भी डरना चाहिए वैष्णव से. उनको डराना नहीं चाहिए. उनकी नम्रता से सेवा करनी चाहिए. Then we'll be getting all the glories. Mercy of the Lord. Okay, this is in short. So they released there, Ajamil understood what happened now because of the chanting the holy name. His 12 years, which are shortened, he was supposed to live for 100 years, and because of sinful activities, it was reduced by 12 years, 88 years. Now, because of sinful reactions over, again 12 years grace was given. Original lives, 100 years. And then he understood second chance. Then at once he left his house. That child, son, by chanting whose name Narayan, Ajamil was rescued from Yamaduta. He left the son only and went to forest to achieve the Lord. So even if your son is named Narayan, you should give him up and go for chanting the holy name of Lord Narayan. So he gave up. He gave up his wife, he gave up 10 sons, Narayan's son also. He went to Haridwar, 12 years he stayed and practiced Sharanam Kirtana Vishnu Sharanam, Navida Bhakti properly. Sure enough, when he completed 100 years, those very four Vishnudutas came back with their Vaikuntha aeroplane and said, Ajamil Prabhu, Your voice stays perfected under the guidance of Chittu Chittu Jagdishwar Mantra. Now please come with us. Your pure soul. So let us go back home, back to garden, BTG. So and this will come in the BTG article in future. So then he boarded and they all left. They took him to Vaikuntha. Ajamil perfected in love. So this story also gives us hope. No matter how sinful a person is, he can perfect his life, provided he takes wholeheartedly the shelter of the holy name of God. There is no sin or any sinful person who cannot be purified by holy name. So one should never underestimate the potency of the holy name. दीनहीन जाता छिलो हरि नाम उद्धारिलो तार साक्षी जगाई माधा Narottam Thakur Mahasaya tells us that how the most sinful, downtrodden, worst of the people, they have been delivered by the potency of the holy name. If you don't think so, then the witnesses are Jaga and Madan. They became such pure Vaishnavas, daily chanting 2 lakh Harinam daily, 116 rounds daily, minimum. Jagai also and Madai also. We chant only 16 rounds. Each one of them are chanting 116 rounds. 57 rounds is little less than 1 lakh, and 58 rounds are little more than 1 lakh. So they are chanting 116 rounds daily and very humble. We chant 16 rounds daily and then we are very और तुम्हारे भक्त जनों में हमसे बढ़कर कौन स्वामी हमसे बढ़कर कौन देवा हो देवा कुंज बिहारी देवा तुमसे बढ़कर कौन और तुम्हारे बुर्ला वाइस भक्त वृंद में हमसे बढ़कर कौन स्वामी हमसे बढ़कर कौन कोई है क्या मुझसे बड़ा ऐसे सब बुर्ला वाइस के ड्यूट हर कोई सोचता है कोई है किसी की हिम्मत है कोई माई का लाल आ जाए सामने मैं ही सबसे श्रेष्ठ भक्त हूँ पूरे बुर्ला वॉइस मेरी ही आवाज चलती इधर वॉइस सबकी आवाज बंद कर देता हूँ आई शट डाउन एवरीवन एल्सेस वॉइस ओनली माय वॉइस बुर्ला वॉइस बुरा वॉइस बुरा वॉइस के बुर्ला वॉइस क्या है बुरा वॉइस है कोई अच्छा वॉइस भी है कि नहीं क्या? एक बुरा वॉइस के ही सब बुरा के बुरला क्या बुरा बुरा क्या थोड़ा सुनाई कम देता है इसलिए तो माइक्रोफोन लगाए ना जो कम सुनाई देता है तो वो जोर से चिल्ला कर बोलता है कि नहीं वन हु हियर्स लेस ही शाउट्स और नॉट सुन रही हो क्या बोले थोड़ा धीरे से बोलो हाँ क्या सुनाई नहीं दिया क्या क्योंकि उसको सुनाई नहीं देता तो वो बहुत जोर से चिल्लाता है तो मुझे कम सुनाई देता है इसलिए तो माइक्रोफोन इस्तेमाल कर रहा हूँ ना जोर से चिल्ला चिल्ला ना तो इसलिए वो क्या बुरा वॉइस की बुरा वॉइस VSSUT बुरा वॉइस वृंदावन वॉइस ठीक है बुरा वॉइस तो ऐसे ही हमारी कथा नम्र बनिए मैं नम्र बनने के लिए आया आप सबके बीच बुरे वॉइस में सॉरी बुरला वॉइस में ठीक है और किसी का कोई प्रश्न है यस
Ruji, one point you mentioned that the tendency to commit sins is very deep rooted.
Hmm.
Even after the process of atonement, that does not go away. So, what to do? How to deal with
chanting chanting yes so he says that in the 20th verse of a chapter only not 20th 15th I think 15th he says that's the end of Shukdev Goswami's testing Parikshit Maharaj. You can repeat after me. केचित् केवलया भक्त्या वासुदेव परायणः अहं धिन्वन्ति कार्स्नेन निहारम् इव भास्करः. Earlier, not this, but earlier verse, he had said that this process of atonement is like in the forest fire, The trees are burnt, bamboo trees are burnt. But then what happens next time when it rains? Because the roots underground are not burnt. Only the bamboo tree above the ground is burnt. Roots are intact. When next time it rains, again the bamboo tree shoots up. It again grows. So process of atonement is used. But now here in the 15th verse of the first chapter, 6:115, he says, Agham Dunvanti Karsnena. By chanting the holy name of the Lord, Kechit Kevalaya Bhaktya Vasudeva Parayana. If one performs pure devotional service to the Lord, which is understood Navida Bhakti or in that chanting the holy name, Agham Dunvanti Karsnena. The sins are completely eradicated. And here example is not of that bamboo tree burning in forest fire. Here the example is Niharam eva Bhaskaraha in the winter season when it is very dense fog or something. Mist is there. When sun rises and sun shines with full glory, then all the mist, fog is all completely eradicated with no trace of it remaining. The holy name is like sun, which eradicates all the clouds of unearthers and mists of sinful reactions. So chanting the holy name, not atonement. Atonement is in one sense useless because the tendency to commit sin does not go. You can see Brugari. He got holy name from Narad Muni. So he was earlier half killing animals. Now here he is not whether not even fully killing or half killing the ants also who are so small because we are chanting holy name. That's it. Any other? Maybe as you told about the discuss, there were four which we discussed because of the force level. Nah, yeah, no. So there anything for Yaman because of why the three that I said already. You are not there. Because one commits sinful activities with one's body, mind, and words. That's why three come. Hmm. Not? Huh. He chanted, huh? Hmm. As such, I heard from one senior devotee. He said it is in Vishnu Puran, previous life of Ajamil. He was a brahmachari in previous life, very pure brahmachari. But whatever, it's not like brahmachari ashram. But personally practicing pure brahmachari, kind of alone in one sense. He had parents also, but he was not staying with them, brahmachari. But then what happened once he somehow fell down in a river and he did not know how to swim. So he was gasping, he was shouting, save, save. But then what happened? Nobody was around there. So he went on drowning, drowning, drowning. Somehow after a long time, somebody saw him and he rescued him, brought him to the shore, means on the bank. And they tried to remove some water, but then he was unconscious only. Then Vaidji was called by his parents that what happened to our son. So he checked the pulse and all that other symptom. Then he said, this fellow is not dead, but he is quite unconscious. And it seems it's quite deep unconsciousness, and nothing else may work. But one thing may work, doubtful whether will work or not, but may work if a young girl touches his body. Because sex is such an impetus, such a thing, craving. It's there in subtle body also. So if gross body way, some young girl presses his body, hmm, so that touch of the member of the opposite sex may revive him, bring him to consciousness. May. Doubtful, but possibility is there. Other nothing else will work. He may die also like that. So then the parents were wondering because this was long before, very pure. Now any we would get 100 girls to touch boy, press him and all. But those years, even to get one is not so easy. But somehow they requested one girl that please, our son's life and death, otherwise he'll die only. So she was also good girl, but then what to do? Otherwise this fellow will die. So she went close to his body. He was completely unconscious. And she touched his body and started pressing like that. And then also he was unconscious only, but after pressing little harder and all, but suddenly he came to consciousness and he got up. He got up and then he saw, hey, young girl, how dare of he became very angry. How dare of you to touch my body? I am a brahmachari. Don't you know that? What rascally, and he started means ill words, and then in the feet of his anger and shouting, he said, "I curse you that you become a prostitute. This is prostitute's business. How dare of you to touch some brahmachari's body?" So then she also became wild. "Arey, what nonsense you are speaking? I was not ready to touch you, but your father and mother, they came to me pleading, requesting, begging that our son's life is and risk. So for all that reason, I came and touched you, and you are cursing me to become a prostitute. I will be the prostitute who will be the cause of your fall down." So that prostitute became next life that prostitute, and this brahmachari became Ajamil, a Brahmin. So like that connection is there. But in one sense, we in previous life might have done worse thing than what that brahmachari came across. So, but these things are there in deep consciousness, yeah, ingrained. But then still, holy name is so potent that there is no sin of this life or previous life or millions of previous lives that the holy name cannot eradicate. So we should have faith in the potency of the holy name. That's what he's saying. Narottama Saku. Dina hina jata chilo, hariname uddharilo. Tara sakshi jagai mata. So we have to. Srila Prabhupada is the modern day example. He went to West and preached to hippies. What? Not they will be drinking, LSD, uh, open three sex, and all the sins you know and you don't know. They were doing it day and night, and they were liberated, purified. So holiness is very clear. Have faith. Yes. Any other? Actually, said that I have irrespective of holy names. Irrespective of holy name. Chanting irrespective of holy name because we are chanting but not proper hearing. Disrespectful. Disrespectful. Ah, okay. Then we know this, but we again, we don't know how. We have to chant with serious devotees. And when we see them chant, my God, so much seriousness. Then that is one way to become serious. Another is to read the or hear the glories of the holy name. That also makes us have awe and reverence. Kintva darad anudinam khalusaiva jushva swadvi kramat bhavati tadgada mulahantri. In the mm, seventh verse of Nectar of Instruction, Srila Rupa Goswami is saying that if only one kintu adarat with respect, anudinam every day, kintu adarat anudinam khalu saiva jushta, if one goes on chanting the holy name of the Lord, swadvi kramat, swad will come. The test for the holy name will develop. Swadvi kramat bhavati tadgada mula hantri. At the root, mula hantri will be destroyed. What? Ignorance. If one goes on chanting every day and with respect, every day quantity and quality with respect. So it will come. It will take some time. Any other? Everybody has personal limitation. You have one type of personal limitation. I have my own personal type of personal. Then we have some free times like leisure period. So if our rounds are completed, we don't have any necessary course to chant more rounds. So how we can develop that? By reading Srila Prabhupada books. Read Prabhupada books daily. Minimum 1 hour if possible, sometimes two, sometimes three, sometimes four, maybe five, 6, 7, 8 hours you can read. If possible, nine. You can read 10 hours, 12 hours, 17 hours it is possible. Or 24 hours we have. 6 hours sleep will be required. 1 hour thoda prasad do bar. So 17 hours you can read Prabhupada books in one day. Prabhupada said, why did I write this book? Some disciples said for getting money, some profit. Another disciple said for distribution. Prabhupada said, no, I did not write this book for distribution. Somebody else said that to engage your passionate American and European disciples in book distribution or other activity. Prabhupada said, no. They're wondering, no, 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 what is the answer? Prabhupada said, I wrote these books to inspire all the people in the world to chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So if one reads Prabhupada books every day at least for 1 hour, if possible, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times. More you read, the better it is. Then you'll be convinced of the glories of the holy name, and you'll chant more. You'll not stop at 16 rounds. As Prabhupada was asked once, Prabhupada, should we stop at 16 rounds, or could we chant more rounds on Ekadashi? Prabhupada said, why only 16 rounds? Why not 16,000 rounds in one day? Namacharya Haridas Thakur was chanting in 22.5 hours, 3 lakh Harinam, 196 rounds. And Prabhupada is saying every day one should chant 16,000 rounds, not 16 rounds. So you have to read Prabhupada books to get that conviction and greatness of the Holy. Then you will get addicted to Holy. Then you cannot stop chanting. So read first. Shravan hoga to kirtan hota hai. Shravan is Prabhupada book reading. Then kirtan is chanting the Holy Name. The children born deaf become dumb. Children born deaf become dumb. All of us learnt our regional language, not by going to school. In our home also. You all, I think, know Odia. I know Marathi. You know Telugu. All these three languages, we never went to school. In school, we learned later little higher version. But original, mommy, I want fruit, mommy, I want food, mommy, I want going there. Everything in our language we learned at home only. Why? Because we heard our neighbors, relatives, mother, father, and we picked up the language. A child kept in a vicinity of 5 different language people speaking till the age of 7. He learns all 5 languages without going to school because just by hearing. But the children who are deaf can't hear. They yeah, because they don't know they have never heard like this only. They become dumb. And they produce sound, but it's like this only. That's it. So we have to read Prabhupada books. Then you will be able to chant. Otherwise, not possible. Shravanam used to Kirtana. Any other?
How to purify our mind because sometimes our mind imagines that thing which we don't want to.
So for that only Krishna has said, no, abhyasena to kaunteya, vairagyena cha grhyate. He says that asamshayam mahabaho, mano durnigram chalam. Arjun said, chanchalam hi mana Krishna pramati balvadridam, tasyaham nigram manne vayuryo sudushram. His mind is very obstinate, stubborn, mm, very restless. So how to control? I can control wind, but not the mind. He was great archer. He could control wind. Krishna says, yes, undoubtedly true. Mind is very difficult to control, but by constant practice and detachment, one can control the mind. Practice of do's, vidhi, and renunciation, vairagya of nishedh, prohibitions, don'ts. So we have 4 do's, 4 don'ts. 4 don'ts are no meditating, meditating, gambling, illicit sex, and torture. No. And 4 do's are A, B, C, D. Association of devotees, reading of Prabhupada books, chanting Hare Krishna mantra, taking only Krishna Prasad, no bhoga, no food. That is simple. So you keep practicing, it will happen. One of the ways to control the mind is to keep the senses engaged in the services of Krishna. Other side of the mind is intelligence. So always read Prabhupada books. Nourish your intelligence. Make it very strong. And mind directly is purified by chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So one side neighbor of mind are the senses. Another side neighbor of the mind is intelligence. So उसके दो पड़ोसी इस तरफ सेंसेस है उस तरफ इंटेलिजेंस है. So all three should be attacked. क्योंकि खाली माइंड को अटैक करेंगे तो ये दोनों आ जाएंगे उसको बचाने के लिए, अपने पड़ोसी को बचाने के लिए. दोनों पड़ोसी ना उसके, तो तीनों को अटैक करना है हमें. Body, the senses should be engaged in the services of the Lord, physical services. Mind should be engaged in chanting the holy name, and intelligence should be engaged in reading Prabhupada books, Acharya's literatures. So when three are very strong, then the mind will be controlled. Any other?
Can you again explain the three stages what we have told about chanting? So the stages you had
Just mention.
um,
अपराधयुक्त नामाभास, One at a time. So aparadhyukta naam means with offenses. I said disrespect. We disrespect devotees. We disrespect dham. We disrespect holy rivers. So many because we don't know the glories. We are ignorant fools. That's why I was born in the darkest of ignorance. Om agyan timir andhasya. But spiritual master with the torchlight of knowledge. Jnananjana shalakaya. Chakshur unmilitam. Khol di mere aankhein. He opened my eyes. So that's why we have regular classes reading our Prabhupada books. Why? Because otherwise our ignorance will continue and will continue to be disrespectful. And through knowledge, then we'll be respectful like that. So what was your question? Okay. So Nama, that is Aparadikta Nam, offensive chanting. And the second stage, that is Namabhas, clearing stage. That means one is conscientiously avoiding offenses. One knows these are very dangerous. And if I continue like this, many lifetimes of Shravanam and Kirtanam also will not lead to achieving love for Krishna. Bahujanma Pariyadi Shravana Kirtan Tabuta na Paye Krishna Pade Premadhan. Millions of lifetimes of hearing like you all are hearing, and millions of lifetimes of speaking the glory like I am speaking. This will not lead to Krishna Prem if we continue offenses. So one who understands how terrible it is, I must avoid offenses, and he's conscientiously he's avoiding. He's very careful, he's very cautious, etc. So then he stands in the Namabha stage, clearing stage. But still yet, love for Krishna is not developed, which will develop a little later, and that is called a Shuddha Nam stage, pure chanting of the Holy. That is for Uttamadhikari. And Madhyamadhikari will chant in Namabha stage, at least. And Kanishta Adhikari chants in Namaparad, offensive chanting. Second question.
I was asking that while you're chanting, what should we think in our mind?
We should not think in our mind. We should only hear. We should pronounce clearly. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And hear attentively with our ears. Don't think anything else. If you want little intellectual support, then you know the meaning. Remind yourself before the chanting round, one round is started. Before that only you remind that this chanting is, oh Lord, please engage me in your loving devotional service. That much. And which is the loving devotional service? This is it, chanting. और कुछ करना ही नहीं. Prabhupada was asked by chanting this 16 round, इतना माला जप करते हैं आप लोग. By chanting 16 rounds, what do you want to achieve? And Prabhupada ने ऐसा उत्तर दिया, उसके फ्यूज ही उड़ गए. Prabhupada said, more chanting. पागल हो गए. पहले ही 2 घंटा बर्बाद करते हैं, इतना जप करते जो, और बोल रहे कि इतना जप करके क्या चाहिए और जप करना है. पागल हो गई है. यानी उसने मन में सोचा, ऊपर से तो उसका देखता ही रह गया वो, और फ्यूज ही उड़ गया पूरा. पहले तो थोड़ा उसको धक्का लगा था, बाद में तो धक्के के पीछे आगे आगे ही चला गया वो. धक्का लगना ही बंद हो गया, वो बेहोश ही हो गया ऑलमोस्ट. क्या पागल लोग हैं. और भी जप करना चाहते. हमें लगा कि ये 2 घंटा ही बहुत ज्यादा है. So, like that. Any other? Okay, ठीक है. Enough. We went over time. Anyway, we started also at 7. So that way we are late only by 9 minutes. We went over time only by 9 minutes. So thank you all very much. Krataraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Samaveta Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Gaur Premanande.
And now we chanting once Hare Krishna mantra.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Tomorrow also we will have morning meditation. So 6:30. No, 6:30. 10:40. 7:40. 8:50. Now we do down rest.
Dinner they have taken.
We will do
Declare now.
laps.
Okay. Namamishwaram. Namadrashtam. Namamishwaram. सच्चिदानन्दरूपं लसत्कुण्डलं